Call to order the Public Works and Utilities Committee meeting. Attendance, please.
Alderman Motley. Here. Alderman Hudson.
Here.
Alderman Wilkins.
Present.
Alderman Deckard. Alderman Rogers.
Present.
Alderman Magley.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a quorum. Will you join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we'll open the floor for comments from citizens.
That'd be just me.
Yeah, come on, Mike.
Come on up.
Reason my neighbor's supposed to be here. What? Speaking of her. There you are. How you doing? I'm here to find out what you guys think about the cats. The rules, other cities you were going to check with to see what their rules were and stuff like that. That's the reason I'm here.
So we didn't get much response about that. Our rules are listed in the packet on the next meeting following this one. It's about the rules about cats. I mean, we do already have a law that you're supposed to pick that up. But there's not, I mean, a lot of other cities deal with feral cats and stuff like that too. I know these necessarily aren't feral, but it's all very similar to what we do. Based on further conversations from a long time ago, not a whole lot of response this time. So.
So what does that mean? You're not going to do anything? I mean, is that what that meant? Because that was kind of a roundabout way saying you weren't going to do anything.
No, I'm not saying we're not gonna do anything. You asked
Okay.
me what other cities do, so.
Okay.
We already have a law that says that they're supposed to pick it up, so then I refer that to our chief of police. If somebody's supposed to pick up their cat feces and they're not doing it, what information do you all need to have for that to be prosecuted?
Well, I mean, are they for sure are they neighbor cats, or are they just wild cats, or what?
Both.
Both of them.
Okay, well, we probably wouldn't be able to do much with ones that aren't owned, but with someone that owns a cat, and you have proof that it's that cat that is doing its business in your yard, then we can talk to the people, I mean, but,
Okay.
I mean,
When talking to Sandy, I talked to Sandy about it. Like I said, I would. And when talking to Sandy, she said, yeah, she said, but we can do something with them, but they had to be, I don't know, it's almost like we had to have evidence that it was their cat, they were the ones doing it. Now, I've got pictures tonight that you sent me. So I just got some pictures this afternoon of these animals to actually be able to identify the culprits here in this situation over next door. And I think most of these cats are the ones that are owned next door, is that correct?
They stay there on their property 99% of the time, except when we turn our back and here they are in our yard.
Now, she's trapped some of these though before, I thought, right?
It's
Yes.
been about a month ago. And
Okay,
a couple of them that she trapped, we've never seen again, but a couple,
because she said she had taken some off, that
yeah.
some had left, and probably to their demise, I mean, unfortunately, but that's what it was. But that point being, we were talking, so I can give these to you guys for her to have, and then she can try to identify the cats next door if they cause her, she can look these over. But she needs to have, the problem is with this, that you gotta be able, for the way our ordinance is set up, you've gotta be able to, catch the cats in the act, basically, have, I guess, information that shows that they were there, catch them like these pictures, that kind of thing. I think that's helpful for her to be able to do something with the owners of the cats, right? Because if they don't have a tag, and then they'll get adopted or whatever they do with that, then they go somewhere. But these others get released, I guess, if they get trapped. At this point, unless.
I would have to ask Sandy about that, I'm
By
not.
the way I understand it, they do it. After, and then some people even come pay a fee to get the cats after we've had them and all that. So I think it boils down to we need to be able to get with her, talk about these here that you sent to us, and see what that does with the neighbors. And I guess if they don't have a tag, they're gonna go away. They're not gonna get them back. So at that point, we don't turn them loose again here as a trailer. But if they got a tag, and they can't prove that it was their cat in the yard, defecating, is the way I understand it, then it's a challenge for the city because it's, the neighbor said that my cats were doing this, but there's no proof it was my cats because there's cats everywhere. Is what kind of gets down to for her, I think, which is gotta be maddening. So, that's where we're at with that. I can give her these pictures, which we just got then, I appreciate you sending them to me. I honestly, I didn't know who was, whether it was you
Oh,
or.
I'm sorry, I should have put
No,
my
I know
name
it
on
was you
there.
or him. When I seen him, I came and asked, I said, did you send me the pictures? And I knew it was one of the two.
Have you set any traps to try to catch these animals? At all?
No, but Sandy has.
Well, I was
She's
asking
called.
you if you had done anything. That's all I'm asking.
I didn't know if that would be all right.
You can set a trap and catch them as easy as she can, and then give us a call.
What's he do with them?
What's that?
When he catches one,
Call us.
and then you go pick it up?
We'll go talk to them, yep.
There you go.
So I gotta go buy a trap.
That's not what I said, sir. I said, if you want to set a trap, set a trap.
They have-
But we'll continue to try to help it out.
Y'all were bringing it, Sandy was bringing a trap.
Yeah,
And
and,
then about a month ago, she quit.
right, and we can continue to do that. But what I'm saying is if you want to do extra effort and you want to get a trap, you can do that.
They get trapped up quicker, I guess, the quicker they're.
So, did we talk to the people across the street? I thought they had 4 dogs, 5 cats, too many animals for the ordinance. Have we talked to them?
I don't know if Sandy has talked to him or not. I can find out from her.
She's had conversations with them, but it's been a while that I'm aware of.
Because you said the dogs weren't licensed.
They had 2 licensed dogs and no licensed cats.
Okay, well, they got 3 dogs, and I know they got at least 3 cats, and I know 4 of them hang out over there.
What's
At
the
least.
address?
Or the dogs let
Columbia
them wild?
Street, but
Or the dogs just
It's
lose
No,
them?
no, they keep the dogs in the house most of
Second
the
house
time.
on the left on Columbia Street's where it's at,
Off of Singleton.
off of Singleton.
it's right straight across from my garage. I just got another picture of the cats laying on the couch out in the front yard. So you can identify them. But by the time you get your camera out, they've already gone. You'd have to sit and watch for them all the time.
I mowed the yard yesterday and ran through cat feces, and that's what he said, 4 times. And that's the only ones I'm hitting with my tires that I know of. I could bring one of my tires down here.
I'm taking your word for
Well,
it.
we take your word that it's
It's-
happening, but.
The aroma is very nice when I'm mowing. My asthma really loves that extra aroma when I'm mowing.
We hear you, we do hear you, our ordinance seems to be on par with others, we just gotta continue to actually investigate and try to find a way to
Well,
be able to pin it on the appropriate
I think
culprit,
you
and
gotta
that's
keep
the hard
trapping
part.
her.
what, she just said the cats aren't licensed. You just said that, didn't you?
I did.
Okay. Why aren't they licensed? Why aren't someone saying, go there and say you have to license these? Why are they not wearing tags when my dog had to wear a tag?
Well, I'm sure
But
there's,
she's just gonna say they're not her cats.
That they
That's
just
what's
show
gonna
up there,
happen.
that they're not
That's
really
what she's
gonna
gonna
know.
say.
she
That's
said,
an easy out for
But
her.
that's something that
Well,
we
then they
asked
need to
Sandy
haul
to
off.
investigate.
I agree.
they can, but sure as you get a hold of them, yeah. They don't wanna claim them without the tag on, and then if you get them caught, they
Well,
can't claim them as their pet.
I know for a fact that one of those cats that's over there right now was caught and taken back to them. Maybe not taken back, they got it back, I'll say that. I won't say Sandy took it back, I'm just saying they got the cat back.
Lately, I guess she said they can get them out of
We can
jail.
look at it.
One of the yellow ones.
One of the yellow ones.
That's one of the first, the big furry gray one, I've never seen it. There's a real skinny gray one that limps. I see it. So,
I think we'll have to put some effort into this cat problem.
Maybe have 2 cats in
How many cats is there, 20, 10, 5?
Right now, probably 5 or 6
5 or
different
6.
ones. I mean,
The pictures that I sent to Chris, there were 4 on the front, in the front of their house. And one of them was a little bit hard to see, but you could tell the other ones. And then there was one at the corner property that nobody's living there now. But that garage is still open, so they run in and out of there all the time.
I think that's where the one that limps lives. 'Cause I see him over there in that
Yeah.
back.
How sure are we that nobody's living there?
He just comes and puts his trash out, like on Monday night in the middle of the night.
So this
So they
in-
pick it up Tuesday morning.
I see him come by and pick up mail,
He's
and he has
he's
it
moved out
mowed.
south of town,
He has it mowed and he picks up his mail
yeah.
and then
So
he drops his
is
trash.
this indoor couch out there their bed evidently? Is what you're telling me?
They claim that's a wicker couch, so it can be sitting outside.
So it's allowed,
lawn-
yeah.
It's lawn
What
furniture.
were their names again?
It's Scott and Sandra Millington, I believe.
These cats look like they're being fed. I mean, are they skinny, are they fat, or?
Kind of variety. There's a couple of them that's pretty skinny, but there's some of them, a couple of them pretty fat. You know, the plus side is, we will never have a mouse. I promise you that. And they come out in the woods with snakes occasionally.
Really?
But I just wish they poop in their own yard. But I can get a cage, I can catch them.
You know what the address is there?
Hold on, I'll be able to
Get rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, see, I don't want to break no law. I
One
don't have a lot of bells on it.
12?
I'll take him to Donnie's house. I know he will. Put a couple in your warehouse over there.
Yeah, yeah, they won't live long over there, I guarantee you that. I'm here to tell you that straight up.
Well, I'll tell you, if I lived outside the city limit, they'd be dead by
There's a
now.
mystery over in that part, yeah. They don't know what happens to them.
Bermuda Triangle of feral cats.
Okay, I apologize, I was wrong, they had 2 cats registered and not 2 dogs. Like, no dogs.
So that's why they got the cat back, I would guess, because she paid to get them out, bail them out. Well,
So they don't have any dogs licensed?
Mm-mm.
They got
Just 2
3.
cats.
They got 3.
we'll make sure that we send her over there to check on these dogs that are unlicensed.
Email right now?
Yeah, gotcha.
Get some one of them posters.
Because if they're not licensed, there might not be rabies shots, you know?
More work to come on it, it's an evolving issue.
I mean, it's only been going on for 2 years and 10 months, so I mean, you know, a few more months.
Sounds like we'll get Sandy over there to help move things down the road a little bit. and
Appreciate it,
We'll continue to follow up on it.
appreciate it.
Any other comments from citizens? Move on to the electric department.
All right,
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. We'll
Thank you.
thanks for working on it.
keep on us.
I-
I will.
We finished a couple underground, well, one underground easement and then a new car wash service for Jim Butler. Got those put underground and then set a few poles and, yeah. So that's probably about it.
Okay. I was traveling for work last week and I was at one of our sites that make parts for, my brain, for substations. They're hearing lead times are out at 18 months, 2 years, so we probably need to at least get that process started from RFQ. They had some parts that they are waiting on, and they won't have material until December of 2023 for, and that was a very specific part, but, so just, what I'm hearing in the world of making electrical parts, we probably need to get that going.
Yeah. It's been, well, we have 16 pad mounts right now on order that we ordered last October. I talked to the rep today about seeing when exactly they were gonna get here, because we've got probably, I don't know, 5 left. And, he's saying not till October now to get those.
You ordered them in October?
So a full year out.
Yeah, I would assume any electric utility hardware.
Especially with hurricane season coming up, we're probably gonna get pushed to the back burner anymore, so.
Expect 6+ months lead time. And that's a very broad brush. But a year doesn't surprise me in some of that.
Yeah.
Okay. We have a revised wholesale distribution service detail in the packet.
Yes, so we met with 2 representatives from Ameren a couple weeks ago, and they were actually going to meet with us 3 years ago, but COVID hit and this has been pushed back. We haven't had any changes in our rates since 2014. You'll see in the packet the upgrades that they've done in that time to kind of explain why the rates are increasing as much as they have. So when you think about, we haven't had a rate increase from Ameren since 2014, that's why there's the jump that it is. We're looking at,
We just increased our electric rate, didn't we?
we figured it up with the pending change being around 11,800 a month, and divide that out between our current electric users. We're looking at a possibility of a $5 base increase. But it wouldn't be effective until January.
What would it be if we excluded seniors, if we can do that? Those are,
We cannot do that for electric. That's why we could not do that before for electric.
that's right, that's right.
Might be a good time to really think about making subdivision people start paying for the electric too. I mean, with the cost of everything. It's going up with the prices, and there's no feedback on that until you get meters in and everything, so it'd be a good thing to have that. A lot of towns are doing it.
Yeah, what were we gonna have wrapped up in North Point, just rough?
North Point, I figured out back, I think it was like last November, and dollar figure, I think excluding labor, was gonna be right around, it's gonna be pushing right around 80 to 90,000.
And with labor, you're well over 100,000.
Yeah.
And with today's prices,
And prices are just going up,
Yeah.
and they will continue to stay inflated from everything I'm seeing.
I will tell you, when we discuss with people doing projects, they're doing projects all over, not only Missouri, but the United States, and we tell them that we do the electric and put it, that it's mind-blowing to them that the developer does not have to do that. I mean, so it's something we have been talking about pretty heavily, and we want to see if we can't put that in before we get anything else moving.
I mean, even if we said, okay, we need them to at least pay for material, and then that would go, I mean, that way we're not going in, say, essentially going in debt.
Well, and you're still partnering with the development by offering the labor, they pay for the materials.
Yeah. That might be a good
Middle ground, yeah.
Yeah. But it's something we need to do. I mean, costs are gonna continue to go up, and the city shouldn't take all of that on.
How's the water? I mean, do we charge labor and all that to the builder?
Just material for
Just
water.
material?
Yep. Yep.
We could mirror that.
Is this something that you feel like you should have a public hearing for, to discuss it, so that they're aware of this change, or, just send out a notice that you're considering it to developers and so on? How would you wanna handle that?
But if we send out a notice, see what kind of feedback we get from that, and then if they want to open discussion, then we can move forward with that.
Good idea, Sarah. Anything else for the electric department?
The full mount agreement, that's in your packet, it's right after the Ameren information.
Sorry, looked at them as the same. Yeah.
Great.
Okay.
That's also still, so just, yeah, it's a happening.
What is this one for?
Ameren contacted us about putting up some collectors for their AMI system, and so this is just a full lease agreement. We've done these before. But we added some verbiage in there that will, so if we do go underground with a service that their, equipment is on, that they will take over ownership and maintenance of that pole. So the pole will stay there, but just with their equipment on it, their collectors on it. So this will be for your consideration, passed by ordinance on the 15th.
Anything else?
I'm gonna bring up one thing while I'm sitting down here, I'm just gonna have fun. Matt and I have talked, and we talked to Chris about this too. We cannot get CenturyLink to take anything off poles. We got poles from 2016 that half the poles there, and their stuff, that's the only reason it's there is because CenturyLink and some of the communication stuff is on it. They won't remove their stuff, so we can't do anything with it, and this is 5 years later, 6 years later, so I need some way, they need some way to get this moving. CenturyLink will not respond. We've talked to, I don't know how many people, and they just keep passing us on and saying, I even had one of the guys come up and he suggests this, behind your brother-in-law's house, it hangs about 5, 6 foot off the ground. Somebody went through there in the middle of the night, they're gonna be clotheslined. And it needs to be fixed, and we can't get it.
It's CenturyLink, not CenturyTel?
It's CenturyLink.
Okay, because they've all bought one another. They
Yeah,
can,
but it's the same.
It's hard to keep up with Zoom.
Yeah.
Well,
And they just,
there's a real problem with CenturyTel, which is now Spectrum as well, because where Leebrook is, where Osmus lives on the first house going in, that damn line's put on the ground. Since I've been the mayor, and I've tried, you're gonna call somebody, we talked about it the other day, but they said, oh, it's probably not ours, but it's temporary. I had everybody over there until I finally found them, and a socket guy told me whose it was. And she'd come out of the door and says, it's been on the ground for 5 years. They have to, and he's got a big yard. He literally, he's an older gentleman, his son does it for him too. They have to move this thing to mow back and forth.
like
Lucky they haven't had a liability.
It's like a long
Too
generous,
generous.
I'd have cut it 2 years ago.
Well, the more they, you know, who knows what's gonna happen.
but I mean, it's getting to that point where something's gonna have to be done.
Mike, does any other towns have the same problem, like Mexico or Mobley?
I know, Macon's had the same issue up there and stuff, it's a different company, but they're running the same thing. I talked to one of the guys there.
Same thing.
Yeah, they just won't do anything and you really can't make them. You got half a pole standing there with a brand new pole. and-
Is it our pole?
Yeah.
What if we just go take it down and throw it on the ground, pull the pole?
But they sometimes have a lease agreement on,
Because it's our
On
customers
our
and all
poles.
those are
So that's what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
Matt's made the suggestion to tie the lines off, just tie it one time. Rope
I don't-
rods or something.
I don't wanna just drop them on the ground. That looks bad on us, like that'll come strictly straight back to us. I don't
And
want
if somebody got
that.
hurt after that had happened, then
Then,
we're responsible too, at that
Yeah.
point, really.
So what's the lease agreement say? Do we know what it says?
I'd have to pull it up.
We really need to look into a way to hold these people accountable somewhere. They want their service in our town, which we want the service, but there's plenty of people fighting over it, but we need to find some way, I don't know if there is, to make them responsible in a timely manner for their product.
Yeah, and some of the poles are still, you did behind Denton and, Adams, or Ruddick, Reed Street, between there, the poles are still there full length.
Yeah.
They're not cut. So if strong wind comes along and snaps it, it's gonna be, I guarantee you, they're gonna get stuck moving some of this stuff.
it's the same way behind your house as well. That one is still broke.
Yeah, yeah, I saw that it was, I'll call it tied off to some level, but, so I was wondering.
Well, behind David's house.
I was gonna say, I think.
Yeah, your house is,
I thought mine
that
was-
pole behind your house is still broken.
Oh.
And we met with what, Socket? And they don't wanna get anybody on the poles. Well, I mean, our stuff isn't on them anymore, so they assume responsibility, as far as I'm concerned.
So if we get.
Has it always been like this for like the last 15, 20 years?
For our next meeting.
Probably the
so
last
we can
15,
look at it.
sure. Used to be those guys had crews that would do it. CenturyLink has nobody anymore.
We'll see what the lease agreement says and see if we have any options. Okay. Anything else for electric? Okay. No? Okay, we'll move on to, Public Works. Activity packets in there. Bill?
We, did several street patches, this past month, did some drainage work, put a culvert out Bicentennial, tried to help out some flooding out there, and did some ditch work on Rodney Griffin, repaired a few spots out at our old landfill that starting to leak a little bit, got them all dug out and repaired. Got all our calcium for the winter, so our sheds are all stocked up, ready. Other than that, pretty standard month.
Okay. Any questions? Move on to water and sewer, always the fun topic recently, and we know we have some pictures here.
So we finally got our new service truck, and so that's one good thing for this month.
Very nice truck.
Do what?
It was a very nice truck.
Yes, it is. On the water plant side, the east heater went out of the Slaker again. They came up and put a new bottom tank on it where the heaters are, and put in 2 new heaters on the 28th, wasn't it, Matt?
Yep.
Of this past month. And they're claiming that this is gonna be the fix-all. So
They're still working. It's been about 3 or 4 days.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're in the gray zone right now. We don't know about tomorrow, but it's
yeah.
today.
You might come in tomorrow and it may not work, but,
How long did it take them to clean up the mess? Did they clean up the mess?
yeah, they came up and cleaned it up. It was done by mid-morning. By lunch, they had it all cleaned up.
I was gonna say Martin's did that.
Yeah, Martins have been very, very, helpful on this whole thing. They've told us, do not touch it. We will be up to work on it. Do not waste any more, resources on it. So if there's anything to highlight with the project, they have been very helpful to us, so.
Okay.
No, the wastewater, these are just some pictures of the basins, and in between the basins and the ditch that goes between the basins.
So the top picture of the upper basin, you're standing on the very west end, looking due east. So you can tell, I know it's blurry, obviously they've got some water now because of the rain down in there. Obviously still some cut down in that floor left to go. Mike and I stopped and talked to them early this morning. They still have not received, ordered, whatever you want to say, the pit for the telescoping valve that's supposed to be installed on this upper basin. They haven't even got their hands on that. The valve and everything is on site with the pipe, but the pit itself is not there, and obviously that's pretty essential to putting the valve down on the ground. So, as you can just see through these.
Ordered it?
We kinda just got a little bit of the runaround this morning. I wasn't too confident. They were kinda saying, the company they order from is from Troy, is that right? Which something, so Martin is kinda based out of Troy also, that are helping on the water treatment side and also wastewater, but we were told from Fishers is that the company they ordered from, they were not sure if they were supposed to make it because of the lawsuit, legal action.
Had it on the ground.
Should have, right. And it's on the water treatment side. So, and not dealing with any contractors that we're dealing with. So that's kind of the story we got this morning. Like I said, I wasn't real confident on that. Lower basin, still same. We're waiting. Donaldson is going to try to schedule that work next week so we can get them up here. hopefully get that going. Once they get that there, fishers roll in, put that liner back in and bring that berm on that southwest corner, and that one should be, lower one should be complete after that. But as you can tell where that green area is on the other pictures, that's in between the basins. The ditch running through that is, it has to be the same slope that is put on the actual berms itself, and as you can see in the pictures, it's nowhere near. That's gotta be 3-to-1 slopes, yeah. And big pile of dirt that has to be moved yet to the east fence line that we agreed upon with Fishers. And then also below both basins, down in between the creek and the lower basin, has to be reshaped so we can maintenance that.
Have they panned any of that?
They have been running the tractor and pan, I would say, 2 weeks before the rain. So they have moved quite a bit of dirt, but still have plenty left to move.
City's probably got about 3 foot on the very west end still to come out.
More than one guy there?
Should have been 2. So, not setting the world on fire, but there's 2 out there.
They still have the same equipment?
Yes. Yes. Just kind of a little update.
Anything else you want to tell us?
Like that's it.
Okay. We'll move on to the Public Works and Utilities Director Activity Report.
Other, obviously touching on the wastewater and water treatment side. Supervisors, myself and Mike met with North Point, trying to get that subdivision moving, and keeping everybody out of each other's ways. Doing that, obviously we have been setting up a lot of work. As you can tell if you drive down Jefferson Street today, we were trying to coordinate that with both companies being here on the same day so we can just shut that road down once. And then, trying to think if there's anything else. Aaron mentioned the truck finally did come in from Jim Butler, so that was kind of a good day, you could call it, for finally getting a piece of equipment that's been on order for however long.
18 months or something like that.
I would just count.
Let's see, other than that, we had a little pre-construction meeting that we hit on with, Coach Bennett out at the country club for that. They're starting to work on that out there, and need a little assistance with our guys, and Matt and Aaron both met out there to go over that, so. That is all I have.
About any as may arise?
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Got a motion and a second to adjourn, all in favor? Any opposed?